Hey everybody, it's 6:50 Eve here, and we are cruising on the way to Stills BMW to pick up my HP4. It was in getting 15,000 mile service, new tires, and the Brentune version 3 ECU flash. And I'm going to be dropping off the H2 to have my trusted dear friend and mechanic Zach install fender eliminator onto the bike, and just to, tighten up some bolts and stuff and whatnot. So that's what we're up to right now. And I just want to say that this bike is just so much fun to ride, this H2 here. I'm really enjoying it so far. I have my thinner gloves on today, and it feels much better than the big thick gloves I had on. Yeah. I snuck off on my lunch break here to get guys, I just cannot put into words how this bike feels and how it responds and how the supercharger behaves. Like I said before, the power is there at about 4,000 RPM and on, and typically you're not cruising below 4,000 RPM, so essentially you always have a lot of power at your disposal. Unlike the HP4, for example, it starts building its massive power after about 8,000 to 9,000 RPM. But once it starts building, it comes on like a freight train. Whereas this H2, it comes on like a freight train right away at 4,000 RPM. And you feel the torque propelling the bike. It's just great. See, right now I'm at 3,000 RPM, and so who cruises at 3,000? Now I'm at 4, and I'm in first gear, and just to touch the throttle, I didn't do anything. I just touched it, and it shot off like a rocket. And I hope that I'm trying to do a good job at describing that, but you really can't put it into words. It's something that you have to experience. I think that a lot of manufacturers are going to start using superchargers or turbos as an option on some of their brands and some of their bikes. BMW is really big into twin scroll turbos. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that was on a future HP4 or S1000 RR, because I don't think that BMW is going to let Kawasaki's supercharger go unanswered. I really don't think so. So, wow. That quick shifter is great on this bike. It seems like the quick shifter is getting better with more miles. Let's see how many miles I have on this thing now. I have 89 miles. 89. So, and it seems like things are just getting better. It seems like the bike, the quick shifter, like I mentioned, is working a little better, and everything is just gelling. I'm still waiting to dispense justice onto Donnie Brasco, also known as Brasco Balls. I'm looking for Mustang Dame. He's been running and hiding since my bike came out. Rumor has it he took a knife and slit his front tire just yesterday because he feared I'd be out on the streets and he didn't want to see me. I mean, these are the measures that people are going through to avoid having to race the Kawasaki H2, the Kawasaki H2. And can you blame them? Would you really want to face this bike if you had a naturally aspirated motorcycle? Probably not. It's still a little chilly out here, but The bike corners well, man. I mean, it corners great. I can't really push it like I normally would on these cold roads, but she likes to lean over. She really does. This bike is perfect for me. When I'm tucked, my knees are nice and firm against the tank. My elbows are resting comfortably next to my knee, and my buttocks is held firmly in place by the seat buttocks holder in the back. It's great. And I kind of lose sense of speed when you're on this bike. I just looked down a moment ago and I was cruising at about 120 miles per hour. I didn't even know it. It felt like I was at about 60. And that's probably because it's a bigger bike and it, you know, it takes the bumps because of the KYB suspension. It takes the bumps really well. But, you know, it's just a great cruising bike. It's a great cornering and performing bike. This is an all-around nice bike. It's very well rounded. And I just can't stop mentioning how the gauges are just so beautiful. I always know what RPM I'm at because, you know, it's the highest number that's illuminated right there. If you can see that, it's at 60-something RPM there. And when you go higher, you know, 8,000 just appeared. That's great. And even with all the wind noise, and on the highway here, I can still hear the supercharger engage. And it sounds like little birds fluttering after being shot at by a BB gun or something. It's just awesome. You know, sometimes I just goose it just to hear those birds chirp. Wow, lovely. So we're experiencing some raindrops, although the rain wasn't forecasted to happen until later this evening. It's always early here in the Cleveland area. You never know. You really can't plan anything around rain. You just have to be prepared for it. So, thank goodness we're pretty close to the bike shop because I really didn't want to get this bike too wet. But I do have to ride the HP4 home, so that should be interesting. But it has a great rain mode. That shouldn't be too bad. And it's dirty. It's already dirty. So we'll be there in a moment. Hopefully it's not a big downpour or something like that, you know. Because I do have to go back to work and I don't want to be drenched. So we're leaving the H2 to get some work done. Get the fender eliminator. And we're going to take the HP4 home. Here at Sills BMW. So that's Max. 2015 is here, and Zach is also working on Lord Jeffrey's bike. And we're gonna get the heck out of here on the H2. HP4, pardon me, before the rain comes down. Try to get home and get home and get the car and get back to work. Wow, I love the sound of that exhaust. Definitely miss it. Heated grips, yep. Ready to go. All right. This bike definitely has more of a race riding position. I love the popping sound of the quick shifter. So look at this crazy animal. Look at this guy. This is unreal. It's like, are the police chasing that guy? He's just driving nuts. Look, he's all on the berm. I'm looking behind me as if I'm expecting to see a bunch of police cars chasing that crazy savage. You know, and then the police want to come out and harass a motorcyclist like myself. I'm not riding on the berm. Oh, we got some kind of truck cleaning the berm, and I'm so glad that I'm not on my H2, because that would just wreak havoc on the paint. So the HP4 is very comfortable as well. Not quite as comfortable for me as the H2, but it's not bad. You can see that my legs are tucked in. I get to rest the elbows on the knees just fine. Yeah. And of course, it's Cleveland, so it's raining. We're cruising along on the highway. This rain wasn't expected until the evening. It is coming out quite early. It smells good though. I love the smell of a good rain. It's cold. It's only 50 degrees, so that rain actually feels chilly, and there's a state trooper. Hopefully he'll leave me the hell alone. Alrighty, here we are in the rain, cruising at about 85 miles an hour. I'm not coming down that hard yet. Hopefully we'll avoid the heavy torrential downpour that's forecasted. I need to apply some Rain-X to my visor, but the rain seems to be flowing off of it fairly decently right now. This rain isn't that bad, it's just that it's cold out here, man. It's cold! So we made it home. The HP4 and the Panigale are reunited once again. HP4 got doused in the rain, but that's okay. We'll clean that later. And the H2 will be joining them after we get the fender eliminator installed, the chain checked, all the bolts tightened, and the tire pressure set. I think they missed each other.